everybody, what's up? It's Phil and Brandon back with another video from Zaid Comics, the creators of Magic Cop, a graphic novel set to launch in Indiegogo in August, and the two best looking brothers in all of comics. Today we got some news out from Syfy channel and DC Comics with their new series, season 2 of Krypton. Now, the big thing about this show that I was excited about is, of course, Lobo was going to premiere in live action on this show, in this series. So I watched the first season, got into it a little bit, but as you can see from our past videos, they showed Lobo and we weren't feeling him. Before they even show the episode that Lobo is in, Syfy comes out and says they're looking into making a spin-off series starring Lobo about him and his history. And I've read the articles, and they said that they're trying to stay as true to the character as possible, blah, blah, blah. And I think this is a huge misstep. First of all, we're releasing this news before the masses has even taken him in and seen him in the series. Brandon and I caught the tail end of the premiere episode that he was in. I think it was like episode 2. And we're like, it was basically 2/3 of the way over. And we're like, oh, I hope we didn't miss him. And he's in the show for like 12 seconds at the end of the episode. So I guess this week, Wednesday, it'll be the episode with him in it. He's got a British accent. And as you may know, I'm one of the biggest Lobo fans I know. A huge Lobo collection. And Lobo has, over the past, 20 years, 25, 30 years, he's had different iterations, starting with the Keith Giffen and Roger Slifer version in the Omega Men, and then just going totally Keith Giffen when he had the more tamed biker look, leather jacket when he was in the Justice League International, and then bombastic look in the 90s when Simon Bisley came and reinvented him into the Lobo we all know and love from the 90s, and going on to Alex Horley, and then we had the horrible re-envision in the about like 2012 for the New 52. That was quickly ended.
We apologized.
Yeah, and people apologized for that. That was a misstep. But now we have another one with Syfy getting this scrawny Lobo, and the actor came out. He's been tweeting about it, promoting it. He wants people to watch it, and he even said that he's not the biggest Lobo, but he hopes that he's the craziest. And we watched it together. What did you think of his personality when we were watching that episode?
I thought that it felt forced. It seemed like somebody who's trying to put on a facade of being a badass instead of actually being a badass. His physique didn't match the amount of fierceness that he was trying to put into his persona. So he just came off like a douche, instead of being like a badass dude that people could get behind.
Yeah. Just now, thinking about it, it reminded me kind of like he's trying to be Jack Sparrow. And he's got that look kind of...
Yeah, I guess like that dirty traveler look,
right,
instead of just being like a outlaw.
And he's like, just his personality. He's talking to himself a lot, which is really weird. Lobo has never had a internal monologue or been talking to himself. It was one of those comics where you could jump in and it's kind of like a TV show, so you don't have any internal thinking. Maybe he talked to himself here and there, but it's weird to see that in a TV show. You were saying his giant gun on his back. Like
yeah.
That's like a Lobo gun, right? Lobo's got huge guns, but as you were saying...
Yeah, Lobo would have a giant gun like that, except, he magnetically attached it to his back or whatever, and he looked stupid with this giant stupid gun. Like, Lobo should have had the huge gun, and then it should have looked tiny when he put it onto his back because he's supposed to be such a huge guy.
He's got the body to back it up, you know?
Right, and it just didn't work. Nothing about it worked at all for me, except for the fact that he was white like he was supposed to be, you know?
Right.
The accents didn't make any sense. His hair was too thin, you know, like the dreads. They weren't like thick, giant dreads. Like they should have been like the Predator dreads, you know, like real thick, heavy dreads, instead of like the beaded.
Even down to his makeup, I think they didn't capture it at all. It's as if someone from Hollywood or some producer is like, what character could we throw in here? And they're like, Lobo. Oh, okay, let me read one newer Lobo comic and then put this guy in here. The makeup design, he doesn't even have the markings, the full markings. They look like in like cuts under his eyes that have been blackened. There's nothing over his eye, which is a big thing that Simon Bisley did in the 90s for him. Before that, he just had dark circles, basically. He still had the makeup or the facial markings around his lips. I think he has a beard, so you can't even see that in this one.
The problem right now with the generation of people that are coming into the producing of, you know, your products and stuff that you're getting is that they want to make a name for themselves, but they're too lazy or they're uninterested in creating a new IP. So they take somebody else's IP and then go, I know better than those guys of yesteryear.
Yeah.
Of course, they're old and dumb. We're going to do it better.
Yeah.
And they're ruining everything.
And so another big thing that I had an issue with seeing like trailers for this next episode, he knocks out the protagonist or the protagonist of the show and ties them up and is like insulted that they don't know who he is. And you know, Lobo has a bunch of different monikers that he tells people that people, you know, refer to him as. But I think Lobo wouldn't really care. He's not that kind of person like Star-Lord, where it's like, you really haven't heard of me? And he just like keeps going on about that. It's just personality traits that I don't think show off the character of Lobo well. It's just a big miss. And talking about having his own series, when you think of Lobo, you ask a comic fan, especially a comic fan from the 90s, what do you think of? It's ultra violence. Literally on the comic, it said this is for mature readers. He broke the fourth wall and would, on the back cover or the cover, would call the readers, you know, no dweebs allowed. This is only for mature readers. And so you can't capture that blood on Syfy Channel. You can't capture his, you know, bombastic personality without having the body of Lobo. And I think seeing what they're doing over on DC Universe with the prosthetics from like Swamp Thing, or even just the costume design in general from Titans and Doom Patrol, that platform would have served Lobo with his own show there very well. On Syfy, he's like swearing. He says the S word constantly instead of using his, you know, frag or other words that he used in the comics, the way they would get around in the 90s of swearing.
He did say frag once.
He did say it once, and he's going to say that stuff.
But it sounded out of place.
Right. And I think if he had it on DC Universe, the Titans was R-rated. A lot of the stuff, Doom Patrol, all their live-action stuff is R-rated, so you give that a mature rating, and you can put the blood like there is in Doom Patrol and in Swamp Thing, and serve Lobo greatly there. Even if you have to get, you know, get a better actor, even if you have to put him into a muscle suit to even it out, it'll be easier to hide the seams because he doesn't have the blending of his natural human skin tone. And I think that would work great. So,
yeah, the character has a ton of promise, but they're just doing a complete misfire here, and they're definitely jumping the gun.
Yeah, You're not going to get the budget like you're going to get on DC Universe from a channel like Syfy, who's notorious for bad CGI and TV shows. So I say, don't make the Lobo series, and if you're going to do anything for it, either put him in a movie like Michael Bay wanted to direct, or throw him onto DC Universe if that's going to last. So let us know what you think about this in the comments. Lobo's one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite DC character of all time. And like this, if you enjoyed it, subscribe and head on over to our website, zadecomics.com, to check out the comic we're writing with some awesome 80s flair called Magic Cop. You get a free comic over there if you sign up for our mailing list, and we will catch you guys next time.